this computer. Excellent. Welcome, 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 everyone. Good evening, good evening. I hope you are nice and snug and warm wherever you are for our winter solstice yoga class today. It is going to be a combination of a little bit of journaling with some yoga. So you may want to grab a blanket so that you've got that just to stay nice and warm. Have a block to sit on, have pillows around, whatever it is that you need to get comfortable. So welcome to our winter solstice. I thought I'd give a little bit of kind of background as to kind of what maybe winter solstice means, where we're going, what we're going to be up to in this session. So kind of like the winter solstice is that time of the year that we all know when the day is kind of like the shortest and the night is the longest. It's kind of the going into the depth of the darkness in a sense, where summer is all about light and freedom and kind of like exploring and expanding into the light that is all around us and outside of us. And winter, especially the winter solstice, is kind of like that full exhalation where we're now going deep within and we're trying to find that light that is within. So there's light within us, there's light without us. And in summer, we kind of like reach out into the light outside us. It's very expansive, it's very light, it's very kind of like happy in a sense. And in winter, not that it's dull or depressive or anything like that. It's more that we're going deep within, we're going into that quiet space within, and we're kind of seeing and unearthing what is in there so that that light from within is able to shine out. So it's also such a beautiful time of year to explore, because often when we do go deep within, it reveals that kind of like hero's journey. So often, I mean, it used to be my favorite to watch the cartoons or the Disney movies, kind of, where they're always like these woman warriors and they have to go on some hero's journey, and there's, always a struggle that they have to get through, and after, at the end they come out of it and they're better than they were before. And that's pretty much also what this winter solstice is about. It's about digging deep within and allowing us to come up out into the light. The other thing that I wanted to say about it is that when we allow ourselves to access our intuition, which is within us, it leads to us being able to access our depth of integrity, which then gives us the opportunity to find that light that is within. So it kind of like all starts with having the ability to connect intuitively. And that's what we're really going to play with in our yoga session today, is really just listening. What is your intuition telling you to do or not do at this point in time, or in a pose or in a breathing practice? When we start listening to ourselves intuitively, then that's when we're able to access that level of integrity. It's when we start to listen to ourselves and all the signs as to what our physical body is telling us, what our mental body is telling us, what our emotional body is telling us. And when we're able to do that, then we can really access that light within and allow it to shine and to come forth. So with that said and done, we're going to sit comfortably on our mat. We're going to take it into a little bit of a breathing practice, and have your journal handy so that, or a piece of paper, doesn't have to be a journal, so that you can take some notes in a moment when I prompt you to. But for now, I'm going to just sit here close enough so that the sound is a little better, and then when we get to the actual postures, I'll move back to my mat. So sitting really in whichever way is comfortable for you. You can be on your buttocks, you can be on a pillow, you can be sitting on your knees, you can be sitting on a stool, on a chair. as long as you can feel that there is integrity in your spine, that it feels comfortable and at ease, and that you can feel that there's a sense of even space and awareness in the front of the body and the back of the body, so that you're not leaning too far forwards to the screen and you're not kind of completely slumped back in yourself, but that there's an alertness. And you're also just taking a moment to observe if you may be leaning a little over to the right or to the left. And if you feel you need to stay there, that is fine. But if you feel you maybe just need to move a little or shift from side to side to find a bit more of a neutral central space, do so. And you might notice that as you kind of wiggle or shift or move a little, that the shoulders relax, and kind of like the head often wants to move, and then it finds a nice quiet place as well. And as that happens, there is a sense of freedom and lightness. Notice your breath. Follow it as it flows in and very slowly out. And as that breath continues to move easily, freely, notice how the thoughts begin to settle. And as you journal in a little while, allow yourself to do so from the space of inner clarity, of intuition. Don't try to analyze what you're writing. Don't think that anything that comes to mind is wrong. Just jot it down, and it can be in words, it can be in colors, it can be in pictures. It doesn't have to make sense. It's just kind of like whatever is in you. With a few prompts that I'll give you in a moment, you're going to put that from pen to paper, or from inner awareness to pen to paper. So I just want you to take a moment to contemplate the idea of winter. And then when you get a chance, you can even do it with your eyes closed if you want, or you can open your eyes and just jot down some of your beliefs around winter. Just take a moment to jot down any beliefs you know to have around winter. That might have something to do with regards to how your body feels in winter. It might have something to do with regards to how you feel, your belief in what you should be eating, how you should be moving, how busy you should be. And then take a moment to maybe jot down a current struggle or a challenge that you're facing. And it could be a small challenge, it could be a big challenge, it could be a health challenge, it could be a finance challenge, it could be a relational challenge, it could be a career challenge, it could be something with a family. Maybe just a challenge that is arising, and maybe just jot it down. Give it the opportunity to kind of come out of your being and onto paper, with words, with pictures, with colors, whatever feels right. We all kind of like journal and bring forth things slightly differently. There's no wrong way. And now if you think of that struggle and that challenge, is there someone you know who has maybe gone through something similar? Maybe not exactly the same, but maybe something similar. And it could be like a real person that you actually know, maybe a family member, a friend. It might even be someone in the media or a personality, someone you know on social media. There might be more than one person that you know. And can you maybe list one or two things that you know that they did to move them from point A to point B? So in other words, from that point of where they were struggling with that to where they may be now overcoming it or have overcome it. There might be a few things you know they did to overcome it. Maybe just list those. Cool. We're just going to do a few more and then we're going to get into our body. And once you've got a few items listed there, what is it that you need to let go of right now? And again, whatever comes to mind, and it doesn't have to be related to the question above, but when you just sit there and you ask yourself and you close your eyes and you ask yourself, what do I need to let go of right now? And again, just notice what comes up. And it might be you need to let go of activities that are in your calendar. You may need to let go of certain people you hang out with. You may need to let go of a certain story you kind of going over in your mind. You may need to let go of a certain food item that you're eating. When you kind of in that quiet space, what is it that you need to let go of? You just write it down. And with regards to that as well, is there a belief you need to let go of? Is there an old, outdated belief that you have and it probably served you in the past? And what belief is it that you're ready to, or you think you know you need to let go of? You may not be ready to let go of it, but you know at some point that belief is going to have to change somewhat. And then the last one, before we go back into our mat, is there a habit that you know you need to let go of? And maybe it's a habit of kind of in the evenings putting on the TV or Netflix, or maybe it's a habit of going to the cookie jar or an afternoon tea. Just something that you know may need to be changed. Again, may not be something you want to let go of just yet, but you know that with time it's going to have to come. Right. And then from there you can just put your journal. Just lie down quietly. Because if during the session you want to take any notes, you can do that. Maybe you want to add to one of the things that you've written. So you're going to really allow this to be you're going to make the session yours, in other words, as what it is that you're needing. Okay, so from where you're sitting comfortably, you're going to allow your spine to continue to lengthen. And just take it into shoulder rolls. So as you inhale, feel that you can bring your shoulders forwards and up. And as you exhale, take them back and down. And then change direction, circling in the other way. Great. We're working very intuitively with the body this evening. So we need to place the right hand onto the mat. Inhale, bring the left arm up. As you exhale, take yourself over. And if you feel you need to be doing this movement dynamically, where you inhale, you're coming up, then you exhale, you're going over, you're doing it dynamically. If you feel you actually just want to stay in the posture and hold it here and breathe deeply and breathe deeply and breathe deeply, then that's what you do. So often if the body is feeling stiff, it feels really nice to be able to move dynamically with the breath. And sometimes when you feel we need to build a little bit of stability, or we really want to get deep into a certain part of the body, it's nice to hold the posture. So you figure out where and what it is that your body is wanting. And you can play with both. You can do a few dynamic, and you can then hold static. Inhale as you come back, exhale, release, other side, breathing in, back to the center. And normally I always say, what you do to the right, you do to the left, but you also need to inquire into your body and say, does this side actually just want to stay here and hold it, or does this side want to move dynamically? And for today, you're really just going to give your body and each side what it wants. Inhale as you come back to the center, exhale, release. Bring the arms up in front, moving into elbow and wrist circles. And the other way. Bringing the hands to the heart center as you inhale, taking the arms forwards, opening them wide, squeezing the shoulder blades together. That's a full breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to round your chest and you're going to bring your hands back into yourself. Inhale, take them forwards, open, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. So we're not pushing the chest forwards, but we're working from the shoulder blades. And as you exhale, allow the other opposite arm to come forwards or in front. So we're inhaling, we're opening, and the shoulder blades draw back towards each other. And as we exhale, we're rounding and we're closing. So we're allowing that Anahata chakra, that the heart center, to open. And we're allowing it to kind of open in the back area as well as we round and close in the front. So again, it's kind of like that yin and that yang. The open, the close, front and the back. The next time you are open, stay there, hold, feel how the front of the heart center is opening. Feel how there's a kind of squeezing between the shoulder blades and the back body. Notice how the neck is long and free. There's no strain, there's no discomfort. Now this time as we exhale, we're going to bring the palms of the hands together, interlock the fingers, round the back and send the arms forward, tuck the chin in. And now breathe into your shoulder blades and notice how you're opening through the back of your body and how you're gently squeezing into the front, dipping into the front. Hold it here and keep breathing, keep spreading into the shoulder blades, keep lengthening through the neck, keep allowing the shoulders to move away from the ears. And inhale, straightening the spine. Exhale, release the arms. Let's extend the legs out in front. You can come out from your little blanket if you've been snug under it. Even here in Mozambique, it is cold today. Shaking out those legs. And then you're just going to take them apart and circle ankles and feet. And change direction. So we often have some really interesting beliefs around winter. And we can bring the soles of the feet together, taking it into Baddha Konasana, the cobbler. You may want to flap your knees. You may want to hold it steady. You may want to fold and bring yourself forwards. Again, whatever is feeling right for you, you may need to sit on a pillow or a raised surface. And as you sit here, close your eyes, and again, maybe just dig deep into the beliefs that you have around winter. And maybe there haven't really been any beliefs around winter. Often we do have some feelings. And releasing, squeezing the legs closed. Chakrabhakasana, the cat stretch. We're going to come onto all fours. So, I mean, our lives are like the seasons, you know, we experience the 4 seasons in our lives as well, and kind of winter is often seen as that quiet time of going inwards, knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, fingers are widely spread. Inhale as you open into your chest, exhale as you round. So continue into your cat stretch. If at any point you need to stop and you need to make a note or two for yourself, if something comes up for you, do so. We'll be here for a while. But this time of winter is a quiet time. So especially around the solstice, when we really are wanting to dig deep and look for that light within, it's a lovely time to do a little bit of journaling. It's a lovely time to be in nature. Often winter is a kind of, the weather is cooler, it's colder, there's more darkness, and it's actually quite fun to explore those, kind of like getting the warm coats on, the beanies, the scarves, the gloves, and to get out for a nice walk, crisp walk, feeling the cold air entering the nostrils, kind of stimulating the brain. It's also a very invigorating time of year. Right, on your next inhalation, tuck under your toes, bring your spine into neutral. And as you exhale, take yourself into a very comfortable, easy downward dog. We're just allowing ourselves to turn upside down for a little while here. Allowing the blood to drain or move down in the direction of the head. Feeling those legs warm up, working into the back of those legs. If you're brave enough to take off your socks, it is best to always do these without socks on. And then when you're ready, coming back down onto your knees, take a moment in Balasana, your child's pose, or Mandukasana, your frog, and feel how you're able to create a small little ball for yourself. And as you take yourself, as you bring yourself into the small little ball, feel that you're able to go deep within. During winter, kind of like our digestion, our digestive fire is also gone, kind of like it's more deep within. We're more insulated in a sense, and the fire is kind of like contained a lot more, which means that it's able to digest things a lot more strongly, a lot more easily. And that means that you kind of like your root vegetables, your nuts and your beans, it's a great time to make stews or things with bone broth. That's what your digestive fire loves to feed on at this time of year. Where in summer, and the digestive fire is more expansive, it moves kind of outward a lot more. It can digest all those nice leafy green veggies, green smoothies, and the fruits. Whereas in winter, it's so contained and it's so strong, it needs like the strong nourishment to give it that heat. Right, on your next inhalation, you can slowly uncurl and we're going to come up onto our knees. A variation of Ustrasana, the camel pose. If you do need a little bit of support under your knees, as you like it, you can place a pillow or a folded up blanket there, placing the hands into the sacrum, pressing down through the shins. As you inhale, the hips and the pelvis are going forwards, the sternum is lifting, and as you exhale, the chin is coming towards the chest. So we're not throwing ourselves back. We're just very gently again opening up the sternum, opening up the chest, and leaning back a little. So that it's done with a sense of comfort. And just on this sense or this topic of digestion, the important thing in yoga and Ayurveda is that we eat during daylight hours. So we don't want to be eating when it is dark, when there's no light outside. And that's why in Ayurveda you always find that lunch is the main meal of the day. And kind of your eating period in winter is a lot less. In other words, your fasting hours are a lot longer, but again, it doesn't mean that you're not eating. You're just eating more nourishing, filling foods, not necessarily like the pastas and the breads, not the comfort foods, but high fats, high protein. On your next inhalation, you're going to stay in your camel variation. You're going to hold it and you're just going to keep breathing. So we're not necessarily squeezing the buttocks tight, but there is an engagement so that there's no collapsing. There's a lengthening through the small of the back. There's an opening in the chest. There's gentle squeezing into the shoulder blades again, like we did right at the beginning. And there's going to be an opening in the throat. So you lift your chin forward. We're not throwing the head back, but the chin is lifting forwards and out. Lovely. And release. Coming forwards a little, release the arms, circling the shoulders. Circling them the other way. Good. From there, we can tuck under the toes, and we're going to slowly unroll and curl, coming up. Let's see how this goes. Right, I've moved from doing the yoga in my bedroom to my study, and I haven't quite got the positioning of everything right just yet. We're going to have the feet about hip width apart. We're going to interlock the fingers, and from here, as we inhale, we're going to draw the arms up. We're going to turn the palms of the hands up, and as we take the arms up, we're going to look up towards the ceiling as well. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the arms back down. So we're going to do that twice more. Inhaling as we reach up. Exhaling as we come down. Once more dynamically, inhaling as we reach up. Make sure you're grounding firmly, comfortably and stably, evenly through both feet. The next time your arms are up, you're going to stay up. You're going to keep them there. You're going to keep looking up into your hands, but you're going to make sure that your teeth are meeting each other. So you can take your bottom teeth towards your top teeth, and you can feel a stretch through the jaw, through the throat. And then you're going to open and close your mouth 5 times, taking kind of like releasing the bottom teeth and then taking your bottom teeth to your top teeth. It feels like you're biting the air or eating the air. Keeping your kind of Teeth together without clenching. Bring your head back to the center and exhale. Release. Lovely. Right, so that really opens up nicely into the throat, especially when we're opening up into the heart. It's really important to open up into the throat as well. From here, what we're going to be doing is taking ourselves into a little bit of a balance. Let's see how this works. All right, you just have to follow the instructions. You're going to ground down through your right foot. You're going to take your left leg back a little. We're going to be taking into the holy fig tree. So the left leg goes back and the toes are going to be just off the floor. If you feel unbalanced, you can keep those toes on the ground. Your right arm comes up alongside your ear. Your left arm goes out to the side. And we're holding it here. Keep focusing on the spot in front of you. Keep relaxing into the shoulders. Keep reaching into the fingertips. Noticing the breath. Releasing the right arm, left leg. Stand evenly on both feet. Close the eyes for a moment. Again, often balances are quite challenging. It's the same thing on the other side. Right leg goes back. You can take the toes off the mat if you would like. Left arm comes up, right arm goes out to a 90-degree angle. And no matter how kind of simple a balance is, it can still be a challenge. Maybe just take a moment to think of a challenge that you're currently facing, going through. It might be the one that you jotted down in your notebook. Just realizing that there's always a kind of a simple way to move into or through the challenge. There's always a way to, there's always a solution. There's always a way to build up into it and out of it. And sometimes it is, we just need to ask for the right support from the right person. There's no point in going to your accountant and asking them how to do the holy fig tree if they're not into yoga. You kind of need to go to the yoga person's house, and there's no point in coming to me and asking me to help you with any accounting matters, because that is really not going to be a smart move. As you exhale, you're releasing the arm and the leg. And we so often do that, releasing, maybe just circling the hips. We often ask for support or help from the wrong people. Not that they don't want to help or support us, but just that they actually maybe don't have the solution or the right solution for us at that point in time. Doesn't mean they don't have solutions for other things. It may just not be the right thing for that challenge. All right, we're taking it into Uttanasana now. So from being kind of up and open, we are now going to go back in. So kind of like a bit more from that summer move, we're going to go into a forward bend, into a bit more of a winter closing move. So from standing comfortably, you can still have your feet hips width apart. I love being comfortable in my forward bend. You inhaling as you take your arms up, reaching into your fingers. As you exhale, you're extending forwards and down, and you're bringing yourself into your forward bend. You can relax and release the neck and the head. You can place the hands flat onto the mat in line with your toes if you want. You can grab hold of your elbows and you can hang down. You can put your hands under your feet. Whatever works for you this evening. But feel that you can lift and lengthen up through the sitting bones, and that you're working the abdomen a little bit closer in the direction of your thighs. Close the eyes here and just allow yourself to go deep within. And again, maybe just ask yourself, like, with regards to that challenge you're facing, is there another person you can come up with who has gone through it, or who you know you can ask for support, that will support you in a way that you know will help you through the challenge. Again, just noticing if a name arises, if the image of the person arises. Might be an image of a pet. And then when you're ready to come out of your posture, bend your knees, take your arms out in front of you, inhaling, coming all the way up. And exhaling, releasing. Great. All right, so often what happens is that when we are faced with a little bit of a challenge, we often don't have, I don't know, the Yiddish word, the chutzpah is such a nice word when it comes to it, kind of the stamina, the determination to actually follow through with it. So if you've got a wall nearby, we're going to take ourselves into a little bit of a squat. Right. So you're just resting the sacrum against the wall, the shoulders, the back of your head, grounding down through the feet. And you're going to allow a little bit of strength, a little bit of warmth to start forming in those legs. You're going to hold it here and you're going to breathe. And what I want you to think of is, who is it that you need to maybe engage in conversation or ask for help that maybe you normally wouldn't or wouldn't go to? And can you feel that by just holding this posture, that you're building that strength, that you're building that resilience? You can be here. Just a little while longer. Breathing deeply. Realizing that as you build the physical strength in the body, that you're building that mental strength as well. You're able to hold yourself. You know that you're able to do a lot more in life. When you're ready, walking yourself away from the wall, give those legs a little bit of a shake. Here we go. And then we're going to stretch it out for a moment. Very comfortable, simple, easy dance. So if you need the wall to hold, you do so. We're going to work one heel towards the buttocks. We're going to try and work the knees together. And then we're going to try and allow ourselves to stand tall. Allow the sacrum to open. And for today, the opposite hand, we're going to take that behind our back into the lower back. And we're going to allow our chest to open. We're going to think of the shoulder blades moving towards each other, like they did right at the beginning of the session. And this is just where we're holding it. Our lower back is supported by our hand with just gentle pressure. Other hand is holding onto the foot. If you need a yoga strap, you wrap that around your foot and you use the strap to hold it. You're focusing on the spot in front of you. Again, we're going into a slightly more challenging balance than we did a little earlier. Again, where before the arms were outwards, they're now inwards. And releasing the arms and the legs. And that's a beautiful thing. We're going to change sides. If you need to change around as well, so you can hold onto the wall, go ahead and do so. Same thing on the side. So you know what's happening. You can place your hands into position when you're ready. And seasons are like the pulsation of the inhalation and the exhalation. There's always a full inhalation, a full exhalation. The inhalation is like summer, breathing in, opening, expanding. The exhalation is the emptiness. It's the release, it's the letting go. And each time you hold this posture and you kind of letting go of tightness, you're letting go of tension, what other things do you know that you are ready to let go of in your life right now? What beliefs are you ready to let go of? What thought patterning or stories that you create in your head are you ready to let go of? What commitments in your calendar that aren't fulfilling you are you ready to let go of? What projects, activities, or hobbies? What is a time to say goodbye to? And not because they haven't been of value in the past, but just because you know that going into the future, they're not actually going to be that important for you. And then slowly release out of your posture. You can take a little walk around, you can shake your legs a little. You can let a dog out of the room if need be. Yeah. And then releasing. All right, we are going to come back down onto our mats now. We're going to come into a really comfortable seated position. If you do want to sit on a cushion or a block, you can do so. You just want to make sure that it's fairly even. You can sit with your legs straight out in front if you need to, otherwise you can sit cross-legged. If you're sitting cross-legged, have your right leg in front of your left leg for now. Sitting nice and tall, and start off by rocking forwards and backwards. So we've just been playing this evening with a sense of expansion, opening, and sense of contraction. And the summer and the winter, and really spending a little bit more time in that contraction, the closing, than the opening. Inhale, feel that you can lift and lengthen. Take your left hand, bring it onto your right knee, even if your legs are straight out in front. Your right arm comes behind you, place it into the small of your back, and take yourself into a very comfortable twist here. Without force, without strain, you're not pushing or pulling or using anything as a lever. You're making it a gentle, comfortable twist. You're going to close your eyes. You need to allow that awareness to shift down into your heart. And as your awareness shifts down into your heart center, then asking yourself, what is it that you need to know right now? What is it that you need? And whatever your intuition is bringing up, let it bring it up. Let that inner light come alive. And it might be something simple as maybe just wanting a hug from a family member, wanting maybe even to have a cry, or that you're wanting to watch a funny movie. Maybe you're really craving a good conversation with a friend, deep, meaningful conversation. Maybe you're wanting lightheartedness. Maybe you're wanting both. And release, bring yourself to the center. Take a moment here and notice how the chest feels after having twisted to that one side, and ask yourself those questions. Sometimes there's like a little bit of like a, you just really want to exhale, like there's something stuck there. And do that. Do like 2 or 3 real deep, strong exhalations where you're sighing out. And then we do the same thing to the other side. So the right hand comes to the left leg. The left arm slips behind you. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale. Very easily, gently, comfortably twist to the left. Take the breath into the chest. And again, you ask yourself, what is it that I want right now? What is it that I'm needing? You might want more stillness, more quiet time for you, quietness. You may just be wanting a nice, warm, leisurely bath. And keep asking yourself that question, because when you ask, what is it that, what do I really want? What do I really want? What is meaning? What is meaningful to me? You'll find that you kind of move through superficial answers quite quickly, and then the depth, the deeper ones start to surface and are revealed. Sometimes they're a little scary to acknowledge. Sometimes it's a bit surprising. But that's what kind of going into winter is about, is kind of going into the dark to really find that deep light within. When you're ready, inhale, come back to the center. Notice how you feel. Notice how the chest feels. Does it need to move a little? Does it want to be still? Let's take 2 deep breaths here, sighing out. Then bring your knees up and together. Slip your arms underneath your legs. You can hook into your elbows. Keep your chest and your thighs, and just let your feet slide forwards and away. You may even want to bring your head onto your knees to rest there. So it's as if you're going into a forward bend, but you're really, really comfortable here. And you're letting go, you're releasing. And you're noticing the space that you have in your back body. So even when we go into a posture which requires full exhalation to go deeper and empty, there's still space somewhere in the body to inhale into. And then when you are ready, release your hands. Very, very slowly uncurl. You can straighten out your legs as well. Be careful if you've got a wall behind you. Place your hands behind you. Lean back and open up. Lovely. Good. All right. And then from here, we are going to take ourselves into relaxation. So you can come and lie down onto your back. You may want to slip a pillow underneath your head. If you've got a blanket, you can wrap that around you. Again, I'm going to come a little closer so that it's easier to hear. And as you lie flat on your back, if that feels comfortable, you can always place a pillow under your knees, underneath your knees as well. You're going to just allow your head to lull a little from side to side. So we're going to allow ourselves to sink into Yoga Nidra, into relaxation. So as you lie there and you allow your head to lull a little from side to side, as the breath settles, let the head come back to the center. Make tight fists of your hands. Reach your hands down towards your feet. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax and release. Soften your arms, soften your hands, and relax your fingers. And then flex your feet. Tighten your thighs, tighten your buttocks. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And as you exhale, relax and release. Soften the buttocks, soften the legs, relax the feet. Inhale deeply and allow your belly to rise. And as you exhale, let it go. And again, nice deep full breath in. and sigh it out. Last time, breathing in deeply, breathing in fully, allow your whole body to expand. And as you exhale, let it go. Allow your breath to settle. Allow your body to settle. And take a moment to bring the awareness down to the soles of the feet. Allow your feet and your ankles to relax. Inhale into your lower legs, and as you exhale, relax the shins and the calves. Inhale into your knees, and as you exhale, relax your knees, your kneecaps, and the area behind your knees. Inhale into your upper legs, and as you exhale, relax your thighs, hamstrings, inner and outer thighs. Breathing in, the awareness moves up. Exhale, relaxing the hips and the buttocks. Inhale into the pelvis, and as you exhale, relax the pelvis. As you inhale, notice how the awareness spirals up your spine. With each exhalation, you start to relax the lower back, mid back, upper back and shoulder blades. Relaxing the lower abdomen, upper abdominal area, rib cage, lungs and heart. Inhaling across the shoulders, relaxing the shoulders and the collarbone. Inhaling down the arms. With each exhalation, relaxing the upper arms, the elbows, the lower arms, wrists, hands, and each of the fingers. Breathing into the throat and the neck, the face and the head. And as you exhale, you're relaxing the throat and the neck, the face and the head, and the skull. Your whole body completely relaxed. And in that state of relaxation, really connect to the rhythm of the breath, noticing that on the inhalation there's a feeling of expansion. And today, really notice the exhalation and the pause at the end of your exhalation. Linger there for just a little bit longer than you normally would. Then notice the inhalation again. The pause at the end of the exhalation is that winter solstice space, the space of shortest day, the longest night, where things start to move again, change again. From that pause, the days become longer and the nights become shorter. And we transition with the breath from pause at the end of the inhalation, the summer solstice, to the pause at the end of your exhalation, the winter solstice. Just noticing the difference between the two. And really enjoying the space of the exhalation, the emptiness. that even with that feeling of emptiness, there's a sense of fullness to it. It's not a sad emptiness, it's an emptiness of possibility. Continue following the inhalation and the exhalation, the expansion and contraction. And then with all the letting go that we've done this evening, take a moment to envision, visualize what it is, who it is you're wanting to become next. Just run through your mind the picture of what you see. What is your level of health? What is your level of energy? What do you see yourself doing? Do you see yourself playing with kids or grandkids? Do you see yourself being productive at work? Do you see yourself being happy and joyful? And just allow us to get a clear picture and image. For me, it's sometimes seeing myself doing cartwheels on the beach and laughing and running. That's when I know I'm in good health, when I can visualize that. What is it for you? And as you see that image of yourself, think of one small, tiny little action step that you can take in the next 24 hours that will move you in that direction of that person. Might be something you need to do more of or less of. One simple action step. And then when you have it, take your awareness to your heart center again. Let it kind of house itself in that space. And then breathe a little more deeply, noticing the rise and the fall of your chest. Allow your thumbs to move along your fingertips, waking up your hands, and wiggle your toes, waking up your feet. When you're ready, you can stretch your arms out behind you and you can yawn if you want to, stretching diagonally through your body, right arm and left leg, left arm and right leg. Arms one way, legs the other. Take a nice deep breath in. When you're ready, hug your knees to your chest, give them a good squeeze. If you need to rock a little from side to side, go ahead and do so. Eventually, you just roll onto your right side with your knees bent up. Take a breath or two there, and when you're ready, you can place your left hand in front of your chest. You can push yourself all the way up into a seated position. You can bring your hands to your heart center for a moment, and as you sit here, you can think of 3 things that you're grateful for, or if you prefer to do your 3 ums, you can do your 3 ums or 3 sighs. And then when you're ready, you can bow your head for a moment. Taking a moment to acknowledge the amazing, magnificent human being that you are. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And when it feels right, you can lift your gaze again. And namaste. The light within me honors the light within you. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful evening. I hope you have a wonderful winter solstice. I hope you've got some nice notes in your journal on things that you're ready to let go of, and in your heart, who it is that you are wanting to take into this next phase as we move in the direction of spring. Here we go. We don't have to voice it or anything like that just yet. We at least know that that is the direction that we are moving in. So thank you for being here this